Over the last 2 weeks, we've seen 10 of the strongest swimming clubs in the country battling away to reach the final of the Speedo Fastwater meet. And today at the Maindee pool here in Newport, the 4 successful semi-finalists, that's Leeds, Nova Centurion, Norwich and Stockport, are joined by last year's champions Kelly College, as we find out which club has the fastest set of sprinters aged 18 and under in the country.
The format's the same as we've seen over the last 2 weeks. There are 12 races, 8 individual races over 50, and then 4 relays. The team with the lowest accumulated time over the 12 events wins the final. As you can see, it's very much a team affair, but each team has at least one outstanding personality. Carl Cockcroft from Leeds, who has fancy for the boys' backstroke. He's an aggressive and determined swimmer who has just made the British squad. Nova Centurion's top swimmer is Joanne Wood, who will be competing in the backstroke. Surprisingly beaten in the semi-final, she'll be looking to make a comeback tonight. Norwich's Karen Meller, used to swimming distance freestyle events, is showing her versatility by switching in the butterfly tonight. For Stockport, backstroker Sharon Page, who has already broken the British junior record in the semi-final, is reckoned by her coach to be heading for the next year's Olympics. And finally, for Kelly College, Mark Foster, one of Britain's most versatile swimmers and a potential Olympic finalist.
Mark Foster, only 16, but already causing waves amongst the swimming authorities. He's got tremendous talent, but he's regarded as rather the naughty boy of swimming. We'll be talking to him later and finding out if that's really true.
Drew Gordon, one of Britain's top coaches, is commentating with me once again. Drew, we've seen the credentials of the 4 who've made it through from the semi-finals, but can anyone beat Kelly College, last year's champions?
I think it will be a very difficult task for all the other teams. In a competition like this, you need strength and depth, no gaps in your team programme, and that's what Kelly has. In addition, they've got 2 very talented youngsters, Zara Long and Mark Foster, who can create, under the rules, time differences, which are very difficult to claw back in an event like this. So I think they are strong favourites.
So here's the rundown for tonight's final. In lane 1, the City of Leeds. In lane 2, Nova Centurion of Nottingham. In lane 3, Norwich. In lane 4, Stockport. In lane 5, Kelly College from Devon. Now each team can be identified by its own colour, and each swims in its allotted lane throughout the event. The 50 metres butterfly for boys. In lane 1 for the City of Leeds, 17-year-old British junior record holder Stephen Faraday. In lane 2 for Nova Centurion, 18-year-old English schools medalist Christopher Proctor. In 3 for Norwich, 18-year-old national age group finalist Craig Mayhew. In 4 for Stockport, 16-year-old Russell Crabtree. And in lane 5 for Kelly College, 17-year-old Scottish representative in the Commonwealth Games, Richard Leishman. The favourite in lane 5, last year's winner for Kelly, Richard Leishman.
And it's Nova, it's Chris Proctor who's showing first in lane 2, but Richard Leishman now moving up to the end of the 25.
And at the turn, they're almost together. Proctor in lane 2 with the green cap, Leishman this side.
Leishman looking strong in this middle section. This is his main stroke. He knows no other stroke, really.
But it's Proctor very close to him. Leishman making a late burst. Leishman wins, Proctor second, and it looks like it's Craig Mayhew for Norwich third.
Here you can see how important it is for the swimmer to work underwater, getting 3 kicks in before he really pulls into the first part of his stroke and swim.
And halfway through the second length, Christopher Proctor looks over for Nova. He's in the lead at the moment. Leishman, though, making a second burst, and this is the one that takes him through to victory. Very close indeed, but now Leishman unleashes all that power. He wins, Proctor second, and Craig Mayhew comes in third for Norwich. In fact, Leishman wins by 0.4 of a second. Proctor second for Nova, then Norwich, Stockport and Leeds, all 5 within 1.5 seconds of each other.
Well, if you saw last year's coverage of the Channel 4 swimming, you will remember Zara Long and the fact that she was the youngest competitor at the Los Angeles 1984 Olympic Games. Well, in the last year, it's been a little bit up and down for her. 2 silver medals at the Commonwealth Games and then serious injury. Well, Zara, how are you feeling now, and are you back to fitness?
Yeah, I've trained really hard over the past few months, and since my Achilles tendon injury, and just swum really well over the last couple of meets.
You told me that you were swimming on sheer guts.
Yeah, you do. If you haven't got the fitness, you have to swim from guts, and it really hurts.
Now, what about the Commonwealth Games? Was that a fantastic experience for you?
Well, it had its good points and it had its bad points, because I swam the first evening and swam the relay, and I went last, which was a bit scary, and got a silver medal in that. And then I had to come back down to earth again to swim my 200 medley the next day, which wasn't very easy, and I didn't. I swam pretty badly.
So you learned quite a bit from that, in other words.
I did.
Do you think you're a better swimmer now than you were a year ago?
A year ago, I didn't know what I was doing, really. I was really young and just used to mess around. I didn't train at all. All the swimming I'd done was just from guts and sheer determination, but now I've started training harder. It's all going really well.
Saying you've become a very serious person?
Serious sometimes. We all have a good laugh, we have good fun, but we take it quite seriously.
For a race that takes all of 30 seconds, like the girls' butterfly coming up next, it might surprise you to know that these swimmers are swimming 4 hours a day, covering 15,000 meters, which is nearly 10 miles. I know from experience that it's hard work, but if the incentive is there, then you can overcome that pain to get the success.
Event number 2, the 50 metres butterfly for girls. In lane 1, for Leeds, 17 years old, Yorkshire and North East Counties representative Claire Ibbotson. In lane 2, for Nova, 17 years old, national age group medalist Rachel Bennett. In lane 3, for Norwich, 16 years old, silver medalist in the Commonwealth Games, Karen Meller. In 4, for Stockport, 15 years old, former England Youth International, Julie Bennett. And in 5, for Kelly College, 16 years old, double silver medalist in the Commonwealth Games, Zara Long. Here between Karen Meller in lane 3 and Zara Long in lane 5.
Zara Long with a very fast start there as normal, but the girls are all in a line here as they go down this first line. Zara maybe just slightly ahead.
Zara Long doing well, Rachel Bennett doing well in lane 2 for Nova. And at the moment, Karen Meller is struggling a little in lane 3. Zara Long pushing forward now, and the rest in a line.
That turn's made all the difference again. Zara Long a metre up as they come to the final 10 metres.
Zara Long heads for home. She touches very close for second between Karen Meller and Rachel Bennett.
Oh, that was a good race.
Yeah, please win it by so much.
I was talking about before the race about the amount of training that swimmers actually do, 4 hours a day up to 15,000 meters. That 50, you're not really breathing hard. That 50 seemed quite easy for you.
It takes a while to get into 50 meters, but we've done quite a bit of sprinting over the last week, so it came off quite well.
So Zara Long moves to the finish. She finishes in 29.73, and over a second behind her, the battle for second place. They seem to touch together. They're given, in fact, the same time, but with a red cap, Karen Meller for Norwich gets second place, and Rachel Bennett of Nova has to be content with third.
Here's Zara Long, the 50 fly winner. An exceptionally classic example of the stroke. Lovely double arm pull, high elbows at the front, really driving the body forward, and the up and down motion of the dolphin butterfly clearly in evidence there.
And Zara Long winning by over a second from Karen Meller of Norwich, who's given the nod over Rachel Bennett from Nova. And quite a battle developing between the Furness twins. Bill Furness, the coach of Nova, Fred, his twin brother, the coach of Norwich. And you can see how close they are together. Event number 3, the 50 metres backstroke for boys. In lane 1 for Leeds, 17 years old, a member of the English intermediate squad, Carl Cockcroft. In lane 2 for Nova, 17-year-old English schools international, Alistair Skellen. In 3 for Norwich, 17-year-old national age group finalist, Richard Molson. And for Stockport in lane 4, 16-year-old Michael Dwyer. And in 5 for Kelly College, 18-year-old Great Britain representative Ian Panting. So the favourites here, Carl Cockcroft for Leeds, who beat his personal best in the semi-final by 0.3 of a second, and in lane 5 for Kelly College, Ian Panting.
And a long start from lane 5, Ian Panting, using that underwater section very well.
But Cockcroft immediately gets up to him, and at the turn, it's almost dead level. This side Panting, the far side Cockcroft for Leeds. In lane 2, Alistair Skellin for Nova.
It's neck and neck between Kelly and Leeds as Cockcroft and Panting battle it out.
Very close indeed, but in the end it's Cockcroft who takes it by just a fraction. 28.82 his time, and just edges out Ian Panting. Well, the electronic scoreboard gave the verdict to lane 1, Carl Cockcroft, at the top of your screen, but as you'll see here, it's Ian Panting in lane 5 who touches first. And here was why the verdict was changed.
Ian Panting, as he comes into the pad, the back of his hand strikes the black strip at the top of the electronic pad, and this does not trigger off the electronic scoreboard. One of the reasons for Ian Panting's victory here is this very fast swivel turn. You can see the speed of the body coming round, the plant on the wall with the feet, good stretch off the wall, and that vicious dolphin butterfly kick to begin his stroke.
So Panting given the verdict by 3/100ths of a second over Carl Cockcroft, and Alistair Skellin from Nova over a second away in 3rd place. So after 3 races, it's 3 out of 3 for Kelly. They lead by just under 3 seconds. Nova 2nd, Norwich 3rd, Leeds 4th, Stockport 5th.
Well, Fred and Bill, there's been much talk at this meeting about you two as rivals, twin brothers. Do you get on well together?
Sometimes, yeah, you know. Is that right, Bill, when we talk, and that is?
Yeah, we get on pretty well, yeah, most of the time. It's interesting because obviously we meet like this quite often throughout the year, so sort of he scores some points and I score some points. But we always have a drink after, but he doesn't pay.
Event number 4, the 50 metres backstroke for girls. In lane 1 for Leeds, 16 years old, Yorkshire and North East Counties representative Helen Smith. In lane 2 for Nova, 16-year-old Great Britain senior international Joanne Wood. In 3 for Norwich, 15-year-old national age group finalist Tara Davey. In lane 4 for Stockport, 15 years old, and in the semi-final she broke the British junior record, Sharon Page. And in lane 5 for Kelly College, 16 years old, Great Britain senior international, Helen Slatter. And in lane 4, there's Sharon Page, who we're watching a fortnight ago. She broke the British junior record, 30.41 her time.
The first 3 lanes in view there, using the dolphin underwater kick. But Sharon Page starts to move out on this first 25.
And Kelly may well be heading for their first defeat here, as Sharon Page takes the lead, but Helen Slatter pulling up hard this side. In lane 2, Joanne Wood for Nova, but look at Sharon Page go now.
Sharon Page and Helen Slatter with Joanne Wood pressing for that second place. Joanne Wood coming through strongly.
But it's Sharon Page who touches first. Second are Kelly, third are Nova, and the time 30.72, just outside that junior record, but a marvellous swim.
Well done, Sharon, another fine win. Were you aware of Helen next to you?
Yeah, I could see her.
What did Barry say to you before the race, your coach?
Said good luck and do what you can, really, but I'd liked it if I could have beaten the heat time, but I just tried the best I could, and well.
You feel in a final there's more pressure on you than in a semi-final?
Yeah, I think so, because like, in the heats you know you've got another chance, so I'm a bit disappointed, but I'm pleased, if you know what I mean, in another way.
I think I do. Well done. Thank you.
Sharon Page in the yellow cap started well, and as we go to the turn, has a pretty comfortable lead. But look what happens on the turn.
She seems to overstretch for the turn, and Helen Slatter makes up a little bit of ground and attacks her in this first 5 metres.
And then Sharon Page gets her act together, and in the end, it was a conclusive win.
This is a good finish technique from Sharon Page. No breaking of the rhythm of the stroke. Right, left, right, and onto the pad with that final arm. A good finish.
At last, Kelly's stranglehold is broken. Victory for Sharon Page and Stockport by 7/10 of a second. Helen Slatter second for Kelly, Joanne Wood third for Nova. But Kelly have extended their lead to over 3 seconds from Nova. Stockport third, Norwich fourth, the City of Leeds fifth. Stockport moving up from fifth to third, under 5 seconds between first and fourth. You'll be back with us in a couple.
Welcome back to Newport. Last week we looked at the backstroke and freestyle turns. This week let's take a look at the breaststroke turn, which incidentally is identical to the butterfly turn. On both turns, both hands have to touch the wall simultaneously. One arm is dropped underneath the body and pushed forward, whilst the other is thrust over the head into the water. On the butterfly, after a couple of powerful kicks, you start the full stroke. However, on the breaststroke, you're allowed one underwater pull before starting the stroke.
Event number 5, the 50 metres breaststroke for boys. In lane 1 for Leeds, 17 years old tomorrow, member of the SO National Youth Squad, Matthew Pickard. In lane 2 for Nova, 18 years old, English schools medalist, Matthew Robinson. In lane 3 for Norwich, 17 years old, Norfolk representative, Adrian Pinder. In lane 4 for Stockport, 15 years old, a finalist in the national age groups, Alex Buller. And in lane 5 for Kelly College, 15 years old, member of the England youth squad, Tim Evans. And there in lane 5 is Tim Evans, and he was disqualified in last year's breaststroke for an illegal motion after the turn, and that was eventually given to Anil Roberts for Millfield, and Tim very determined to win this year.
Start by all 5 swimmers, and it's Matthew Robinson of Nova showing ahead in this first 15 metres, Simon.
Matthew Robinson and Tim Evans making his move this side. Now, it's at this point that he was disqualified last year. He'll stay down a long time, but he emerges to find that Robinson's still in front.
Robinson with a faster turnover and a slightly older head on his shoulders. He's moving at the last 5 metres.
And Robinson reaches for the touch now. Evans is second, and it looks like Matthew Pickard, the far side for Leeds, was third.
Matthew, a nice determined race there. Well done.
Well, Dave, I was really psyched up for that one. I wanted to do well. I wanted to beat Kelly College, getting over back in the running, falling a bit behind. It's not such a hot time, but it'll do.
And here's the finish. Tim Evans working hard this side, but all the while Matthew Robinson was in front of him. He reaches there, Evans second, and it's close for third with Matthew Pickard getting it. And Matthew Robinson pulling 4/10 of a second back for Nova. Tim Evans second for Kelly, and Matthew Pickard third for Leeds. And good news for Nova. Kelly's lead under 3 seconds. Stockport third, Norwich fourth, City of Leeds fifth. Still pretty close.
Are you cheering everybody on?
Yes.
When did you learn to swim?
My last one, I learned 6 months ago.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Do you think you're going to be an international swimmer?
Yes.
Before the girls' breaststroke, let's talk about training for a moment. Now, everybody has their own idea about training, but I had this drill that I used to do that used to help in the coordination of breaststroke, and this is what you do. You hold the left leg with the right arm and then vice versa. It's such a weird position, it really makes you think about what you're doing with your free arm and leg.
In lane 1 for Leeds, 16-year-old national age group champion, Helen Frank. In 2 for Nova, 14-year-old member of the England youth squad, Helen Watson. In 3 for Norwich, 16-year-old Great Britain B team member, Debbie Tubby. In lane 4 for Stockport, 14-year-old British junior record holder at the 50 metres breaststroke, Caroline Gable. And in lane 5 for Kelly College, 16-year-old Great Britain and Scotland international, Anna Radcliffe. There's Anna Radcliffe for Kelly in lane 5. She won this event last year, 35 seconds dead. It shouldn't be enough this year.
This looks as if it's going to be one of the closest races in the whole programme, Simon.
And that's how it looks in lane 4. Caroline Gable opening up, the British junior record holder. She's been suffering from flu, but a really great start there for her. And at the moment, Anna Radcliffe and Helen Frank at the top for Leeds, struggling. But now Helen Frank makes her move for Leeds up at the top of your screen in lane 1.
Yes, the second half is looking good for Frank. Gable just trying to hold her off. Yes, she seems to be doing this.
Caroline Gable touches first, Helen Frank second, and Caroline's time 34.17. And Helen Frank made her determined bid halfway through that second length, but it wasn't enough. Caroline Gable held firm, touches first, Helen Frank second, and look at Anna Radcliffe this side, way down.
This is the part that troubles most swimmers, the underwater phase of breaststroke. Really well done there by Caroline Gable in the black and yellow swimsuit. Also a good shot here as they go to the turn of the driving nature of breaststroke. Hard onto that wall, good streamlined push, then the pull through underwater and back into the stroke. Again, a good view of Caroline's driving short stroke for the 50, keeping the tempo up right into the wall and to the finish of her race. An excellent example for all the young competitive swimmers in the country.
So Caroline Gable wins the breaststroke by 0.3 of a second. Helen Frank second for Leeds, Debbie Tubby third for Norwich, Helen Watson fourth for Nova, and Anna Radcliffe fifth for Kelly. So they all make up ground on the leaders. Nova now just 2.23 seconds behind. Stockport third, Norwich fourth, the City of Leeds fifth, under 8 seconds behind Kelly.
Kelly College's Mark Foster is without doubt one of Britain's most exciting and talented swimmers. But his short swimming career has been fraught with discipline problems. He's recently just completed a few months' suspension from international duty. Mark, your supporters here feel that you're being unfairly singled out by the ASA.
Yeah, well, I've messed about a bit in the past, but I don't really like the reputation I've got. I'm just going to try and amend it.
You've just recently moved to Kelly College. You're enjoying it there?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
What sort of workload are you putting in now?
Well, it's doing about 8-10 sessions a week. It's quite a lot of meterage.
Do you feel you're the misunderstood person of swimming?
I don't really know.
Well, Paddy, Mark Foster was with you at Millfield and he's now at Kelly College. He's had a lot of bad publicity over the year. Do you think he's over it all?
Well, yes, I do. The media, as you know, the newspaper media anyway, like to have something dramatic to hang their hat on, and they will keep on digging up the fact that he has had a few problems. But I think the boy can get over it. He's got tremendous potential, unbelievable potential, and all I hope is that he will get down and continue to work and honour his new school and make himself the champion that I'm sure he can be.
What would you like to be seen as?
One of the world's top swimmers.
Think you're going to make it?
Yeah, I hope so.
Do you feel you've got the application now to do it?
Yeah, I think I've got determination and will, and I think I'm going to try and go for it.
Very best of luck.
Thanks so much.
Archie, you've had the difficult task of taking over where others have left off. How do you think he's getting on?
Firstly, I don't think it was a difficult task. Secondly, I don't like him being named the naughty boy of British swimming, because indeed there is a lot of naughty boys in British swimming in the past. But of course, discipline has got to come into force sometime, and in this case it has been applied to Mark and one or two other swimmers. What we want to do now is to forget all about the past. That happened last Christmas. Since Mark has been with me at Kelly College, he's been 100% down the line. He's had no trouble in the school or in the pool, and that's the way we hope to keep it.
In the Speedo final last year, Mark Foster, then swimming for Millfield, lost his butterfly race because of a poor finish. Where he should have finished with a full stroke, he was left with half a stroke. A swimmer has to have a computer inside his head to judge his finish exactly. However, sometimes, even with the best, that computer fails.
Event number 7, the 50 metres freestyle for boys. In lane 1 for Leeds, 18 years old, member of the English schools team, Neil Metcalf. In lane 2 for Nova, 16 years old, member of the Nottinghamshire County team, Jason Kenny. In lane 3 for Norwich, 16 years old, former England youth squad member, Stuart Wire. In lane 4 for Stockport, 17 years old, Cheshire County swimmer, Peter Beaumont. And in lane 5 for Kelly College, 16 years old, the British junior and senior record holder at the 50 metres free, Mark Foster. Foster, the last to go up. His British junior and senior record, 23.41.
And already you can see Mark Foster half a body length up in 15 metres.
Neil Metcalf, the far side for Leeds. In blue, won his semi-final, but look what Foster's making of the field here.
Fine example of power sprinting, even at this age.
And Foster goes for the touch now. Neil Metcalf is second. Drew to the layman, Mark Foster here, looks the perfect freestyle swimmer. What is it that makes him so outstanding?
Well, he's the right height, and he is a very strong boy. You can see that the leg kick is extremely powerful. Now this stabilizes the hip and keeps the body nice and high in the water for a very fast turnover.
At 16 years old, how far do you think he can go?
Well, this boy has been marked with the potential of really being a great freestyle sprinter. The question of doubt is about his application and attitude to training, but he certainly has the talent, no doubt about that.
So a crushing victory for Mark Foster. 1.6 seconds his winning margin. Neil Metcalf second for Leeds, the extrovert Jason Kenny third for Nova. And Foster's victory means that Kelly have forged further ahead. 4.27 seconds their lead now over Nova. Then come Stockport, Norwich and Leeds.
Well, Jason Kenny, not a bad swim, but you're known for other talents from what I hear.
That's right, yeah.
Take it away, boys.
Ready? Hit it! If you see my heart a burning, if you see that I'm alive, please come over and set my alarm off. Please come over and hold me tight. If you realise that I'm glowing and you just turn away, my hot desire will bring me after you. You cannot turn me away. For I know that you are passionate. For I know I need you now. When you realise that I'm after you, you can stop my fire anyhow.
Event number 8, the 50 metres freestyle for girls. In lane 1, for the City of Leeds, 16-year-old Dawn Churchman. Lane 2 for Nova, 15-year-old national age group finalist Louise Hawkin. In lane 3 for Norwich, 14 years old, member of the England youth squad, Nicola Bates. In lane 4 for Stockport, 16 years old, member of the Yorkshire Bank England intermediate squad, Nina Williams. And for Kelly College in lane 5, 18-year-old England and Great Britain international, Helen Day.
tight racing prospect, Simon, with Helen Day and Nina Williams very close favourites.
All four in a line, apart from Dawn Churchman at the moment. And just in front this side, Helen Day in the red cap in lane 3 for Norwich. Nicola Bates showing well.
Yes, Helen Day had a superb turn there, took her out into lead, and she's now fighting to hold it.
Helen Day reaches out now, touches first, very, very close for second between Nicola Bates and Nina Williams from Stockport, but Kelly have won again.
Helen, well done. What do you actually enjoy about swimming?
It's just the competition, it's just great.
Do you get nervous before a race?
Yes, I was nervous before that.
And what do you do to control that nervousness?
Just have to put all your energies into your swimming and concentrate on the race.
And here's where this 50 freestyle was won and lost. Helen Day first into the turn, quick off the wall and breaks into stroke very, very early, and this gave her that half-metre lead that took her to the finish.
And Helen Day this side for Kelly, just in front, desperately tight for second place as Helen Day touches. In the yellow cap for Stockport, Nina Williams makes a late burst and she touches absolutely together with Nicola Bates. They have the same time and they are joint second. And Helen Day records Kelly's 5th win in 8 races. And it means that they've extended their lead to over 5.5 seconds. Then come Nova, Stockport, Norwich and the city of Leeds. Things looking good for Kelly then. Can anyone beat them? Join us in a couple of minutes.
Just to remind you before we go into the medley relays that Kelly College are 5 seconds ahead. One important thing about swimming is that on all the 4 strokes you should swim with a bent arm. A lot of beginners actually try and swim the strokes with a straight arm, which makes the stroke nearly impossible. Let's now go and watch the boys in the medley relay.
Kelly have all 4 winners of the individual races in their lineup. First off for them, this side, remember, Ian Panting.
And Ian Panting being pressed up there in lane 1.
Carl Cockcroft, yes, and it's very tight indeed. Other than that, it's Nova doing well as well with Alistair Skellen. And Carl Cockcroft, in fact, is going to take the lead going into the breaststroke leg. So, leads off first. And for Kelly, Tim Evans. Tim Evans, who won the breaststroke event by some way, and now he's beginning to overhaul Matthew Pickard for Leeds. For Nova, in 3rd, it's Matthew Robinson.
And Tim Evans in this leg looking a lot smoother than he did even in the individual event, and just giving a slight edge to the Kelly team.
So in comes Tim Evans, and a great swim here by Matthew Robinson from Nova, and Nova take 2nd place from Leeds, who are 3rd. Now the winner of the butterfly is Richard Leishman, and there he is extending the lead as they go up the 3rd leg. Stephen Faraday for Leeds is the fly swimmer, and for Nova in green it's Christopher Proctor.
And Chris Proctor really pressing Richard Leishman hard. He's really had a great leg here, Proctor.
He has indeed, and as they go to the final leg now, the freestyle, it's Mark Foster for Kelly, and for Nova it's Richard Jennings.
Even on that high hitch kick dive, Foster has given himself 2 metres clear. Coming out of the turn, it's Kelly very well in the lead here.
Half a length to go for Foster. And Kelly's lead stretches all the time. Foster touches now, very close for 2nd, and it looks like it's Richard Jennings who gets it for Nova. And 3rd are Leeds with Neil Metcalf. But a convincing win for Kelly.
There's a good shot of the strong bent arm position that David was mentioning in the back crawl. In the breaststroke, as the hands separate and start to press outwards, that's when the elbow bends and you get the bent arm position in this particular discipline. As he applies his strength in the butterfly, that's when the arms will bend from the front end of the body right through to the hips. In the freestyle, the bent arm starts once the swimmer moves the hand backward. When the hand passes under the body, you'll see the bent arm at the elbow.
So plenty of style from Kelly, and it's reflected in their winning margin. Over 2 seconds. Nova second, Leeds third, Norwich fourth, Stockport fifth. And Kelly have extended their lead to just under 8 seconds from Nova. Leeds move from fifth to third, Norwich fourth, Stockport now last.
You having a good time?
Yeah, I'm having a great time here.
What do you think of it all?
It's good, it is. Leeds aren't doing very well at the moment, but they can still pull up to second, but not, I don't think they'll win it.
Did you know this was on and came specifically for it, or were you in the building anyway?
Well, I've been waiting for this for a couple of weeks because it's been advertised, so I thought I might as well come along and see what it is, because I live near here, so I might as well see what it's like, and it is good.
I can swim at the deep end, from the deep end to shallow end, away.
Girls, you look like you're having a lot of fun here today, are you?
Yeah.
You look as though you're taking it quite seriously. What are all these things on your programmes?
They're all signatures.
Of who?
The swimmers.
So here's the 4x50 medley for girls. And in lane 4 here, watch out for Sharon Page, British junior record holder who won the individual event. Beside for Kelly Helen Slatter, but Sharon Page moving out already.
Sharon Page will want to build a good lead here in this first leg on backstroke to give her team the best possible chance.
Also going well in lane 2, Joanne Wood for Nova. Tara Davey for Norwich, but look at Sharon Page here as she hands over to Caroline Gable in breaststroke, and going for Kelly, Anna Ratcliffe.
And I'm sure Anna will want to try and hold the distance down because she knows this is a weak leg in the Kelly team. Gable pressing hard to extend that lead now.
And in lane 2 in the green cap on the far side, Helen Watson going well for Nova. But Caroline Gable about a couple of metres clear, and it looks like Helen Watson is overtaking Anna Ratcliffe.
Also coming through is the red hat of Norwich on this breaststroke leg.
Julie Bennett goes in on fly for Stockport, and the lead's been extended to about 3-4 metres. Rachel Bennett for Nova. And this side for Kelly, and they've got a lot of work to do now. Zara Long, now watch for Kelly over these last 2 legs to really make an impression, but there's a lot of work to do as Julie Bennett really going well for Stockport, and there could be a major surprise here.
Coming into shot, it's Zara Long pressing hard in the last 3 metres.
Off for Stockport goes Nina Williams, and it's Helen Day, the winner of the individual freestyle event for Kelly, trying to catch her. About 1.5 meters. The gap is closing all the time. Nina Williams for Stockport, but here comes Helen Day for Kelly.
It's the Kelly charge now on Stockport, but I don't think she has the room to take it.
And Stockport holding on for quite a remarkable victory. Kelly are second, third Norwich, fourth Nova, and fifth are Leeds.
Back again. Well, Stockport, you needed that victory.
Yes, because we're lying last at the moment. I think we've got a good chance going over the first 3.
Swimming in a relay, do you find it takes a lot of the pressure off you because of your teammates?
Well, no, I think it puts more pressure on you.
Why is that?
Really. Because you can't really let the rest of the team down.
Zara Long, obviously under the pressure of trying to catch her opponent, shows a good example of a fast turn. Streamlined to the wall. Fast tuck, knees to chest. Feet plant, good drive off, hold the streamlining, start the leg action before you bring in the arms. A great example from a great swimmer.
So Stockport lying last before that race win by just under a second, but that result won't do Kelly any harm. They beat all their main rivals convincingly. And Kelly's lead stretches to over 10 seconds now from Nova, and Stockport, they move up from 5th to 3rd.
And showing already it's the Nova team, with Chris Proctor taking out it very hard on this first 25. He's into the lead.
And Kelly with Ian panting in last place at the moment. So maybe they have become a bit overconfident. Christopher Proctor, a marvellous leg for him. For Norwich, Craig Mayhew second. And third between Stockport and Leeds.
And Norwich in Stuart Wire beginning to make a little ground on Nova's Alistair Skellern.
And Richard Leishman starting to move here in lane 5. But it's Alistair Skellern at the moment.
Richard Leishman is a flyer. He's not known for his freestyle, so there could be some upset here. Maybe make Mark Foster work hard.
And in on the third leg goes Matthew Robinson for Nova. They're in second place at the moment, but obviously way behind Kelly. But they'll be substantiating that lead. In lane 3 for Norwich, Adrian Pinder. And on the far side, Matthew Pickard for Leeds. And still no sign of Kelly.
The way Matthew Robinson's working, he's trying to make up some of the time between them and second place and Kelly.
And off goes Jason Kenny on this final leg. And it'll be eyeballs out for him. Mark Foster takes over in 4th place. So, can he get up into the first 3? And no doubt who's going to win, though. Even Mark Foster can't catch Jason Kenny in this form. But Foster, moving like lightning, has moved up into second place. Kenny, though, takes the lead and swims out to win it. Second place, Mark Foster. Third, Norwich. And 4th are Leeds.
All right, guys.
That's a great result for Nova.
Yeah, well, Dave, it was really good, honestly. I enjoyed it.
Were you expecting to win that one?
I think we had a good chance, and obviously we proved it.
There's a fast man over there in lane 5, Mark Foster. Were you aware that you had a good enough lead to beat him, or were you aware that he was coming at you?
Well, if I thought about him, I might have got psyched out. But I don't, you see, so I know we can do it.
Yes, he certainly didn't get psyched out, and Nova win by just under 2 seconds from Kelly. Then come Norwich, Leeds and Stockport. A good result for Nova, but they'll have to do spectacularly well in the last race. There's Kelly's lead going into it, just over 8 seconds. Nova second, Norwich third, Stockport 4th, Leeds 5th.
Well, this is the last chance you're going to get to see these lovely girls from Kelly College. They're not only lovely, but they're great swimmers too. Kelly are 8 seconds in the lead, and wouldn't it be nice to see them winning this freestyle relay?
Obviously, tactics playing an important part here. Kelly College sending out Zara Long, who of course is their fastest freestyle. Looking for a lead off this first leg, Simon.
And for Stockport, in the yellow cap in lane 4, Nina Williams, Nicola Bates for Norwich in lane 3, and in lane 2, Rachel Bennett. But Zara Long only just in front as they reach the end of this first leg.
It's good to see all 3 teams in together. Norwich seemed to lose a little bit on the takeover there. And it's in fact Sharon Page doing very well here on the second 50.
Yes, Sharon Page turns first from Helen Slatter. For Nova, it's Joanne Wood, and for Norwich in the red, Tara Davey.
Stockport, I'm sure, anxious to keep their female national title intact.
Caroline Gable goes out for them, and now Anna Ratcliffe attacks this side for Kelly. And Kelly, well, their share of the limelight's gone a little bit. I think they've got a bit cold once they've taken that lead overall, and this is what's happening. They're beginning to suffer now.
And it's a gamble too for Stockport. Julie Bennett, the flyer, is the one taking this last leg of the relay.
And Anna Ratcliffe attacks at the end, so it's Julie Bennett in for Stockport. And here for Kelly College comes Helen Day, who won the freestyle event. And slowly but surely she's beginning to overhaul her. Norwich look as if they're going to be third with Karen Meller, but now let's watch this as we come up the final length of this speedo meet.
A great leg by Helen Day. She's now starting to edge ahead as she gets into the last 5 meters.
And on the touch, Kelly win it. Stockport are second, third Norwich, 4th Nova, and trailing in their wake are Leeds. But Kelly win the last event and comfortably win the competition.
Well, that was such a tremendous race. We've got to talk to both of you. Stockport, tough luck. Were you happy with that?
Well, not really. I'm a bit disappointed, but never mind. They're a good team to lose to, I suppose.
Kelly, the pressure certainly was on you there. Did you think at any time you were going to lose that race?
Well, not really, no, because we had a good start from Zara and a good team.
You were behind, though. Did you feel the pressure?
Yes. Adrenaline was going really hard.
So Helen Day brings Kelly home for their 7th victory in the 12 races. Stockport 2nd, Norwich 3rd, Nova 4th, and the City of Leeds 5th. And there's the overall result. The winning margin just under 13 seconds. Nova 2nd, Stockport move up into 3rd place, Norwich finish 4th, and Leeds are 5th.
Well, congratulations, Archie. Does it mean as much the second time round?
Oh yes, definitely. As I say, I wanted to do well, and for the swimmers and for the college, and we've done proud.
Do you have some sort of strategy? Do you come here with a very technical plan?
Well, I think most coaches realise that strategy in a 50-metre pool is not very good. What you've got to do is to be aggressive, get a good start, a good turn, get in amongst it.
I have plenty of supporters.
Oh yes, we try and carry our supporters if possible.
Congratulations, anyway.
Thank you very much.
So, for the 2nd successive year, the trophy for the Speedo Fast Water Meet goes to Kelly College and their coach, Archie Brew. A convincing win then for Kelly College. David, your overall impressions of the meeting?
Well, there's no doubt Kelly College were very, very good, but all credit has to go to the other teams for making it such a great competition and such an enjoyable competition.
Right, our congratulations then to Kelly College. Hope you've enjoyed our 3 programmes. Maybe it's encouraged you to take a dip in your local pool. You may not go quite as fast as the swimmers you've seen from Kelly College, but it still can be quite a lot of fun. From Newport, goodbye.